Welcome back to Bazaar. I'm Eco, and we're trying to do another Dooley Overexplained run today. My last Dooley Overexplained run went off the rails. It high rolled too hard to be a valuable, teachable experience, so maybe this one will be a little bit more sane and a little bit less of a demented diamond victory that can't be easily transferred to other people. As always, let's start with what is an Overexplained run. This is not a basic how-to guide. This is an in-depth insight into my thought process as a Legend player as to how I try to optimize my runs to get the most out of every possible choice. I always try to explain my thought process well in my videos, but in this run, I'm going to break down the decisions a lot more than I normally would, especially in the first couple of days when the decisions are the most important. Optimizing days 1 through 5 is really, really important. It echoes out across the entire rest of the run. The later the day, the less valuable any single decision is because it's not going to impact each subsequent day. If you get a really good feel for how to play days 1 through 5, that is critically important to making sure you actually win on days 6 and onward as well. Now, before I get into the run as Dooley, I will mention a very small optimization thing. I have both of the card packs Vanessa and Pig turned off, and that is because those items showing up at Pearl actively makes Pearl a worse vendor for Dooley. I will also mention that is not a minor thing. There's a link in the description to my previous Dooley Overexplained run, where on day 5, I hit Pearl, get DJ Robot with Fiery Enchant, and win the run off of him. You do not want to enable those packs if you're playing Dooley because it makes one of the best vendors in the game a lot worse. Now, let's get into the run properly and start explaining things. Alright, as with every run, we start at Dooley's Workshop. You're given the choice of 2 cores, Crit Core and Weaponized Core in this case. In my opinion, if I don't see Ignition Core specifically, I am planning to drop the core. The only exception to that might be a Companion Core. With all 4 of the other cores, I'm trying to get early wins with them, and in that regard, I don't think Crit Core is very good early. I think Weaponized Core is a ton of damage scaling in the early game and can easily win on days like 1 through 5 just off of the damage scaling this provides on something like a Rocket Launcher. This can give you early wins, and I don't really think Crit Core is nearly as good at doing that. Neither is going to be at home in my late build. I'm planning on dropping the core and transitioning to some other build, whether that's Bunker, Fiber Optics, Mama Sar, or much more likely Power Drill. But for winning early, which is all either of those cores are good for, I won't Weaponized Core. Now, coming over to the kit choice, which core you get affects how you evaluate things. Because if you got specifically Ignition Core, all of the burn skills are just going to win the first 4 days, because that's how good Ignition Core is. Getting a burn skill on top of that, you're going straight to the moon. We did not get Ignition Core. With the other 5 cores, frankly, I don't value skills nearly as highly, because finding and enabling any burn card is going to be very difficult on day 1 with 4 starting gold. Dooley has less starting gold than anyone else, and that makes these 2 non-economy options a lot harder to deal with. I think Enchanted Item is pretty much always bait on every character. It's very interesting, but it's not actually good. So since I did not get an Ignition Core, I will not be clicking gold tier starting skill. Instead, I'm taking Income. Income's going to allow me to, 1, just go to shops freely on day 1, so I have less starting income than everyone else, or starting gold rather. But 2, Dooley is oftentimes very poor, the income is greatly appreciated, and 3, the major one, duping a Power Drill, the most powerful thing available to Dooley, I'll cover it more as the options present themselves, basically requires me to go to a lot of shops, and I need this gold to freely pursue that strategy. So, without any strong incentive for the other 2 options, I take the free choice in the pivoting. Here we have Extract as one of our options. We don't have a poison item. It's never going to be a big deal. We don't need the gold from it. It's notable that if you started with something else, a 2 gold sellable object is not bad. But if you just wanted gold, you're better off going Strange Mushroom. This has a 4 gold option at it. And already, in terms of teachable moments, we need to stop. Because you might have been like, what do you mean you get 4 gold at Strange Mushroom? You might just not know that you can do that. This is a screenshot I have saved of the encounter cheat sheet. I just have a bookmark, a folder of bookmarks that I middle clicked to open all of them with items, skills, and monsters tabs at howbazaar.gg. This is a database with all the items in the game. I'll be showing you how to use it more later. And in this case, you can go to this cheat sheet, find a Strange Mushroom, gain a neutral item, or 3 gold. This is actually a mistake. It's 4 gold. And there's also a hidden 4th choice where if you had a bushel, you get plus 20 heal to your bushel. Basically, you always go to Strange Mushroom for 4 gold though. Having taken the income start though, I'm happy to go to Quixel. I have the money to look here. Now, unfortunately, these are all pretty damn weak. There is merit to thrusters down the line. I'll take it now in case I get nothing else. And if I don't get Pyro, I won't be able to kill Viper. If I take Hamlet, I can kill Viper. Down the line, he's a friend tool for a soldering iron. He's not good, but he's good enough. I'll take him. And we're rolling here because we're really looking for Power Drill. Getting an early power drill is very important for reasons we will talk about down the line. However, we don't hit power drill. Instead, we have security camera, which is completely useless to the game plan we're planning on running, generally not a good card either. Same with laser pistol, and we have a crypto. We take the crypto. If you see crypto, you buy crypto, you check your stash after every hour to see what it goes to, and you don't sell it unless it's at least 1 under its maximum. The reason for this is because crypto is bugged and can go over its maximum. So if I have a bronze crypto, I'm not selling it at under 4. If I have a silver crypto, I'm not selling it under 9, so on and so forth. There's a small argument to buying the laser pistol just to help fill my board down the line. We can do better than a laser pistol. I might have taken income start, but I'm not made of money. Now, this is the exact reason that we took the Hamlet and the thrusters. We wanted to be sure we beat a Viper. I'll come over to howbazaar.gg and show you, go to day 1. Of these 6 starting enemies, all of them lose to an empty board except Viper. Kyber might actually beat a non-empty board because he can slow your items and scale up with trained. But if you empty your board, you beat Kyber. You beat everything with an empty board. Small mention of like the 0.06 or whatever % chance that Fanged Eaglet crits every single attack on a 5% and kills you. But basically, an empty board beats all of the starting enemies except for Viper. Because I got the Hamlet, I'm able to beat Viper. And that means I'm able to get a Toxic Fang, which is the best day 1 item you can get from any monster fight. I get a Gland, which is 1 regen, and regen is incredibly valuable when your health numbers are minor. And get Lash Out, which is like giving my opponent -3 regen, very good as well. Extract is 2 gold, and even the Fang, which is basically a miss, is a small, fast item to put behind the weaponized core and scale. That is the reason I bought Hamlet. I just needed something scaling and hitting to win, and now we do. Now, if I weren't weaponized core, I'd be going Bananable there every time. Duct Tape is an insane item, the best shield scaling item in the game by far. And Dooley and Vanessa and Pig, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Oh, it's by far at its worst in Vanessa. Here though, just being weaponized core, I would really like to pick up this Fang, and if not, everything else is still a hit to some degree. Our build right now probably does not win day 1. Unfortunately, we're just not very strong. Wrong item. It is, however, massively better than Hamlet. Hamlet takes 7 seconds to go off. Fang takes 3. The base 10 damage doesn't matter because most of its damage will be coming from the weaponized core anyway. We're only at 2 gold on that crypto. Now here we can go to Andy, we can get 3 gold, or we can go to Tiny Furry Monster. And this is not even really a decision for me. I'm going to Tiny Furry Monster every single time. Part of that is that experience is, in general, incredibly valuable. You need to prioritize getting experience to the detriment of everything else. It needs to be really, really good for you not to click an experience option. And I'll talk about why I don't click experience options over the course of the run, what things are really important and why. But there's also a second, even more specific reason than the general value of experience being super high in this game. Right now, my board is not full. The next 3 levels, I get 2 board slots on each of them. And normally, at the start of the game, if you get no bonus experience, you level up on the first hour of day 2, 3, and 4. If you get 2 experience, though, you'll level up right before the PvP fight instead on those days. Now, there's no way to get 2 experience before day 1. But to get 2 experience before the day 2 fight, if you can kill Rogue Scrapper, that'll give you 1 bonus experience for beating the hardest monster on day 2. And then you need 1 other source of experience to get there. That's why we click Tiny Furry Monster. It's for 2 extra board spaces on tomorrow's fight, and also on day 3's fight. Andy does not offer enough to justify not clicking on this. Now, last hour of the day, we have small shield item, which is very bad. We have non-weapon items, and there are some crazy non-weapon items in Dooley, but not really at bronze tier. And we have Jungle Ruins. Jungle Ruins is much better on Pig and Vanessa because they have unique options for their characters of 2 income on Pig or a small silver item on Vanessa. On a Dooley, it's not as good, but I will still be clicking on it for one of its 2 options. Gain 3 regeneration. As I said when I was talking about Gland, regen is incredible in the early game. I don't have any defenses, but I do scale up this Fang to deal a shitload of damage. If they don't kill me before Sandstorm, this is effectively 90 more health. 3 health per second, Sandstorm shows up 30 seconds in. That is 90 additional health. They're dealing damage to me, but failing to kill me, and that is massive. We're not favored going into day 1, but we can absolutely beat a lot of builds. This guy did not take starting skill or income. His enchanted item was a diamond clamra. He doesn't do anything, but that's enough. I'm going to lose. The catfish is not scaled at all, but 3 poison ramping up over the course of the fight, I think will out damage my scaling Fang. And then he has essentially plus 200 additional health from this life preserver. I might be underestimating the damage ramp on the Fang. It's a very fast item. I have 3 regen, giving me essentially an additional 90 health, canceling out a lot of the poison damage. It's fucking close, actually. I'm pretty confident I lose. I don't know. I definitely lose. It's close, but I lose. Catfish Life Preserver just do enough, even though its enchanted item did nothing. These are very, very good early items. And that's perfectly fine. We took the income start. We are making ourselves less favored to win on day one when we do that. It's disappointing to have come so close, but oh well. Now this is an interesting choice. Down the line, I would like to have a fire skill most likely. However, I don't have a reason to care about that yet. I don't have a rocket launcher. I don't have any small burn items, any fast burn items that really benefit from it. So there's no reason to roll looking for a burn skill. I have no shield items, no poison items. Left-handed's not the handed you want, because if I put a weapon to the left of the core, it'll eat it and be slower than the core. If I have a weapon to the right of the core that I want to scale, it can't go on it because it's... Like, this is just so much better when it's right-handed. Now, that said, right now I don't really do great against Rogue Scrapper. I need to beat that guy tomorrow. If I'm playing a drill build, which I'm very likely to be playing a drill build in the current meta, we'll cover that more when we see drill. It's just very likely that I'm building into something where left-handed is good. It's currently good. Rolling off of it for gold seems crazy. It's not like an insane hit, but it's definitely good enough. Well, I guess we're going Aidley here. I do need to find a bronze drill at some point. One experience is very good. I was talking about this earlier. However, I probably beat Rogue Scrapper no problem. I'm already leveling up. I'm hitting that one super important breakpoint in the early game of level 3 on day 2. So I don't need to click Study or Tiny Furry Monster. Actually, yeah, I do have a friend. I can't click that. And my crypto is still at bad values. Boo-hoo. I need to go to Ayla. So generally the reason that you would choose not to click on something that gives experience is that your build is incomplete. Like wildly incomplete, and you either need to find a direction for a new build and pivot into it, or there is a critically important missing item the shop is likely to give you. For me, my build is incomplete. I'm just missing 2 item slots. And I need to find a bronze drill very quickly. Boom, done. Got everything I needed. That's literally done. Give me both of them. You've been great, you've been good, but you're out. So now we have Fang and Thrusters scaling the weaponized core, scaling the rocket launcher. We're much stronger than we were a second ago. Power Drill is an incredible item. If you've played the game a lot, you've seen Power Drill builds, but to briefly break it down, every single status ailment charges the Power Drill 2 seconds. It's got decent base values and incredibly good enchant scaling. So if you're able to get some good status ailment density, you'll find Power Drill one of the fastest, most terrifying items in the game, and I'll be showing that off over the course of this run. For now, though, Power Drill is not great in the early game. It's not great right now. We're not going to be using it. The multicast rocket launcher is a great target for the weaponized core. Essentially goes off 3 times every 7 seconds. It is faster than the Fang. And then we get to put the Fang all the way to the left to get the left-handed bonus on our fastest item. There's a small argument to taking an Arc Blaster here to fill up my board. I think with multicast on the rocket launcher and the thrusters, my board is fast enough at applying status ailments currently that I would run drill over 2 items that included a Arc Blaster. And as a quick heads up on the way drill works, let's talk about internal cooldowns. Most items have a hard limit in speed. I cannot reduce the cooldown of an item beneath 1 second. If I reduce the cooldown of weaponized core by 100%, it would not go to 0, it would not go to 0.01, it would go to 1 second, because that is the minimum cooldown speed. In fact, you cannot actually accelerate your normal cast speed under 1 second either. If you haste an item, it will take 1 second to go off, even if it has a 2-second cooldown or a 1-second cooldown, because it cannot be accelerated faster than that. Charging, however, does not follow that rule. Charging can accelerate things to faster than 1 second. However, it does follow a different rule called the internal cooldown. Simply put, things cannot happen more than every 0.2 seconds. 5 times a second is the fastest anything can be done, and that is only accomplished by charging it through outside means. Speaking of charging, that's why we're talking about all this. It's the Power Drill. It says when you haste, slow, freeze, poison, or burn, charge this 2 seconds. So any status ailment charges it 2 seconds. But if an item went off and hasted 5 items, it would not make the Power Drill trigger instantly. It charging with the haste procs is on internal cooldown. So every 0.2 seconds, it would get plus 2 seconds charged until 5 internal cooldowns had elapsed. It charged the full 10 seconds, and then the drill went off. With every other charge item, like Pufferfish or Matchbox, there's only one type of charge. So no matter how many items you activate, Matchbox is only charging 1 second every 0.2 seconds. But Power Drill actually has all of these as separate effects. They don't funnel into the same internal cooldown. You have a haste pile, a slow pile, a freeze pile, a poison pile, a burn pile, and a charge pile. So if you did 100 burns over the next 100 internal cooldowns, it would charge this 200 seconds. But if you did 20 of each status ailment, it would only take 20 internal cooldowns because they're all on their own internal charge cooldown. I hope that makes sense. So with our build, because we're not actually that fast, the internal cooldowns being different doesn't matter yet. But it does mean that when the rocket launcher goes off and the thrusters go off, they get added to the same pile. It's a little bit slower than you might expect, but all the same, there are 3 burns every 7 from the rocket launcher and 2 burns every 6 from the thrusters, because burning me is separate from burning my opponent. And that is a lot of charging for the power drill. It is absolutely our best item currently, and I can't really see that changing. There's also no other weapon I want at all, full stop. I want rocket launcher for the early game, power drill for the late game, and we're done. The rest of everything I want is non-weapon items. We have 3 spare change, we have plenty of money, don't really care. We have +3 regen, but that falls off rapidly, and I feel very strong for the day, so I'm going to go to JJ. Small chance at metronome.
Sometimes I sell stuff.
I don't have a burn skill, so welding helmet's not really available. I will roll, there's a lot of things I can hit here. First Aiden is generically good. It might even be good enough to consider not running the drill. I don't think it is. Still at 2 on that crypto, unfortunately. Thermal Lance is a very good item, I will mention. I just don't have haste right now. I don't have a companion core. I don't have a metronome. I can't spend all of my gold, like liquidate something and buy a thermal lance, but I have no ability to trigger it just yet. I should have mentioned that while we were still on the page, but oh well. And as I was saying a second ago, we crush Rogue Scrapper, and we have to fight Rogue Scrapper. The furthest right fight gives the most gold and experience in every single day. The other 2 would have only given 2 experience. If you look at my experience, get 2 experience from the fight, 1 experience from the hour, and then 2 more hours, and I would not level up before the end of the day. By fighting Rogue Scrapper and getting that bonus experience, I reach level 3 and get the extra board space and health before my PvP fight. So this is a very, very important fight. I clicked on it instantly without discussing it because it is not even a decision. It is something that must be done to have a good chance of winning on day 2. And crushing Rogue Scrapper in 21 seconds feels pretty solid. Man, I really feel like I'm playing the same run I just did the Overexplained for and failed with. Well, let's do it again. Rust is an incredible skill. Rust is generically good because if your opponent's playing a 1-weapon build, then Rust says, hey, that weapon takes 3 seconds longer to go off, and that's just good. Disrupting anything for 3 seconds is good, even if they're not a 1-weapon build. What's better, though, is Rust's ability to cascade with other skills. You can get first slow freeze to make Rust do a start of combat freeze. And if you get that, you can get first freeze haste your items to do a start of combat haste on your items. And if you get that, you can get first haste freeze to do another freeze at start of fight. And Rust allows you to have these really gross skill cascades that can single-handedly win fights. Now, again, I almost instantly clicked on Lost Trait because this is not a decision. Andy can sell me items I care about. I would love a metronome. There are plenty of small items that can improve my board in the near future. Get an item. I have 7 gold. I'm not broke. I have things I can liquidate if I really need to make money. Still at 2, huh? It's not really justifiable to go here over a shop at this point in the game when I have this much money. However, I have to click Lost Crate here. It's not a choice. Get a skill is great. You can choose get a skill a lot of the time, and it can often be good because it's not like locked to tier. The later in the game it is, the more likely to be a good skill. However, we're taking a silver tier upgrade hammer. And here is the reason why. This upgrades a bronze item to silver tier, like our power drill. And hopefully, I'll show you why specifically having a silver tier upgrade hammer and a power drill allows you to duplicate items and do truly broken things. There's also a chance at the end of day 5, I'll just upgrade my drill and whine about it and explain it then without the visual demonstration, but hopefully that does not happen. Now here we have Kina, and she can sell me things I care about, but not for today. I'm just putting the power drill on my board today, right? We're up to 4 gold here. I think I'm gonna hold it for 5. I have 7 income, I'm not spending any more gold right now. Because I'm not going to Kina. Because even though she can sell me a couple things I like, my odds of winning the fight actually go up with Cinder Chase. It's a meaningfully more burn. Licket's a fine event, but I don't really highly value it. I get this, I immediately sell it for the +3 burn. That's notably more burn. I don't think it's enough to proliferate, but it's enough to deal more damage and not a small amount more damage either. And then for our level up rewards, we have bronze tier item, bronze tier loot item, and bronze tier tool item. The way I always look at this is, am I trying to fill up my board? The answer is almost always no. I'm usually not like, oh god, I just need an item, anything to put on my board. That very rarely happens. But if I am, I'm inclined to click an option like one of these two. Otherwise, it is always bronze loot when it's against just get an item, because the +2 gold and a small item is usually worth more in addition to whatever value the loot gives you. So it's a pretty cut and dry choice for me every time I see those options. And we have an Eagle Talisman. I feel like I'm committed to being a drill build. I will sell that now. Before we go into this fight, I want to mention that my board is laid out wrong here. This is just a mistake. The drill's fast. It's actually a decently quick drill with 5 burn triggers, but it's not every 3 seconds fast. That means that the Fang is going to go off more often, meaning the Fang should be receiving left-handed right now. I don't know if it's better to have it be Fang, thrusters, then drill, or if it should be Fang, then drill, then thrusters, then weaponized core. I'm not sure if the cooldown reduction is better on core or on Fang, but 100% left-handed means my board is positioned wrong, and this could have cost me the next fight, and if it had, it would have been entirely my fault. This guy does have a silver matchbox day 2, a lot of healing. I have scaling damage and a lot of damage. His healing's not that fast and doesn't scale. His matchbox isn't fast enough to proliferate. No, he's just completely dead. I was like, maybe all of this adds up to something, but no. Also, the silver matchbox makes me quite sad because that means it's not at bronze and cannot be duped. And again, I'll explain the duplication mechanic more once I get a chance to demonstrate it, but it's very important to optimizing your play on both Pig and Dooley right now. It's not so important on Vanessa. Being 1-1 on income start, you love to see that. I don't need spare change. I do not have Nufu money. 6 gold to roll with so many misses is crazy, and JJ has a chance to sell me drill. Small chance, not a big chance, but I'm willing to take it. Now, I'm not looking to keep this rocket launcher forever, but it is a meaningful increase in damage. It's only 4 gold. I'm happy to take it. Monitor Lizard and Laser Pistol have no value to me. Oh, what's it up to? 3? Well, let's get it to silver and try to get it to above 10. Enjoy your purchase. And again, it might say it stops at 10, but this shit's bugged and it goes above 10. 9 is the minimum I'll ever sell this for. Do I want to go Micro Dave? He's a burn for this. I've got fast items. I don't have anything truly great right now. Micro Dave might even be better than drill if I run Hamlet and first aid in or find another fast item over the Hamlets. I think right now Micro Dave is better. He's only 4 gold. No, I think I just beat people to death with the drill. I don't think Micro Dave is it. It's close. I want to consider it, but it never goes on a board with a duped drill, and it's not even clearly improving my board now. I've had multiple runs back-to-back without any upgrade hammers, and now I'm getting multiple. Kev's a 4 gold reroll, and there aren't any shield items I care about. He can sell you enchanted shield items, but I don't mind that too much. I'm not ever taking Relax here because you never ever take this until hour 4. Otherwise, on hour 1 and 2, it just gets used on the PvE fight, which you should not need help winning. I am going to go to Abandoned Crate and take another... Maybe I take Skill. I was going to take Silver Upgrade Hammer here and just upgrade this for better damage scaling. But I'm almost certainly dropping the core within 3 days. I'll be flabbergasted if I'm on day 7 running the weaponized core. There's a lot of misses on skills, but I think it's on average better. It's certainly not better if you get a shield skill. I'll take the skip. This is, in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes of the run. I really should have taken the upgrade hammer here. And the reason for that is because it makes it much easier to upgrade power drill and reliably dupe it down the line. If I just find a bronze drill in the next 2 days, great, no problem. But it's very easy to not do that. It's day 3, bronze items are starting to get more rare. I don't know that I'll find an Orion. So I'm in a situation where what I could have done is taken the second upgrade hammer. That way, at level 7, if I haven't found a second bronze drill, which is very possible, I can upgrade the drill with 1 to silver, and then use my level 7 upgrade to get a gold upgrade hammer, and then try to dupe a silver power drill. That could have hit hotspot. Like, there's a million skills in the game, so obviously it's not likely to hit the best one, but it could have hit any weapon damage skill, it could have hit any burn scaling skill. There are a ton of weird jank skills that can be good. Oh well, do we beat Scout Trooper? You know, I'm not as confident in that as I should be, but I think I'm just being a coward. I've got 3 regen and a first aid in. I got a decently fast drill. The 4 burn, multicast, scaled up weaponized square rocket launcher. Surely I'm fine, right? Right? Scout Trooper is one of the harder fights to evaluate. It took me a very long time to start feeling confident in whether or not I beat him or not. And yeah, we crush. We're fine. I say we crush. It's not as close as I would have liked it to be. I'm still down to 150 health, which is not that far from dead, but yeah. He's a very scary fight. So is Aetheryte. One of the bigger things in getting very good at the game is quickly analyzing how you beat those fights. When I was still learning the game, I very frequently lost to Aetheryte and Scout Trooper as I was learning how to evaluate if a build beat them. And because that's so important, I'll actually stop and talk about it for a second. Scout Trooper is just very scary in that he deals a lot of damage. He's scaling up with weak point detector with an Uzi, laser pistol, grappling hook, and bolas. It's just a lot of damage. However, if you have good defenses or better offenses, you can still win pretty consistently. With Aetheryte, it's more entirely about keeping the shield value down. You need to hit it pretty frequently for good enough damage to make sure Force Field is not hitting for more than the base 30 shield, and then you need to be able to win the fight outside of that. You're going to start off down in health massively, so unless you have crazy shield scaling, you're not going to win by being passive. You need to deal pretty solid damage to kill Aetheryte too. Now, we can go small weapon, don't really care about those at all. We can go chocolate bars, don't really want to do that. I want to go to middle and find an upgrade to the power drill. It's that easy.
I'll help you find who does.
Blast Doors, welding helmet, and motherboard are not it. And for my last item slot, I do not mind a Chem Snail, to be honest with you. It is a slow and a poison to charge the Chem Snail 4 seconds every 5 seconds, or sorry, charge the power drill. And then on top of that, poison 3 is not nothing. He's fairly cheap. Yeah, that can just go on the board, it's fine.
Free. I like the
And I'm sorry for not evaluating like every item I'm not taking. I realize that it could be helpful, but that would make this so much longer than it already is. I'll take 9 on the crypto. It's not like crazy high, but it's good enough. Now, we can upgrade to bronze tier item, get this to be better. It would be fine. I'm gonna go bronze tier skills. There's way bigger hits than a slightly better core. That's one of them. And I think I would always want Final Flame because this is going to be leftmost and make positioning more awkward on the left side of the board if I get hot spots. I'd probably always just have one burn item anyway. The difference in these two is probably entirely cosmetic, but I will assume that's better, and it makes me massively stronger right now. Another upgrade option, huh? Tina can give me Metronome. Metronome is genuinely crazy. B1, B2 can upgrade a weaponized core. Frankly, I think I win whether I do that or not. I'm gonna go Kina, look for some specific items, namely Metronome. Not the big medium friends, unfortunately. I should have taken memory card there. That was just a mistake. I could have used memory card in my PvE fights and generated a little bit of cash with it, but I was just being stupid. I was just clicking way too fast. In general, good advice is slow down. A decision you make without thinking about it is always a decision you made wrong, even if you happen to reach the correct conclusion. And there's nothing to change on board, but we are monstrously strong with that burn skill.
I may be young for a
Should I have the Fang left of Power Drill? I should have checked my recap to see whether Fang or Power Drill was faster, because this might be the wrong positioning. What do? You don't haste, though. What was his start? It was income, okay. Anyway, his build doesn't really do anything, so it's a pretty easy one.
Another round.
I'm up 3 item slots, but if you accept that the Jit isn't really doing anything, I'm up 4 item slots. One of his items is a bronze star chart. His board's just very, very weak. I think I'd have beaten most people on day 3, but there are definitely high rolls that would have crushed me. All right, another chance at middle. Non-weapon item is just an economy choice, doesn't really matter too much. The Dox is an economy choice that you really cannot evaluate what you'll get from it. It's way too random. But middle has a chance of upgrading Power Drill. And I'm rapidly losing the window to dupe a Power Drill. Because after day 6, you do not get bronze items. Day 6, bronze items are so rare that you basically don't get bronze items. Day 4 and 5 are really my last chances to dupe this drill. And those are not drills. Nor is that. Hopefully we see an Orion sometime today. Orion filters down to only tools, which is very likely to give me a drill. Another abandoned crate, huh? Genuinely just taking cinders for the rocket launcher is not a bad call. I can't get fiber optics. They start at gold and it's day 4. Gold items start showing up on day 5, making Andy a lot worse for my build. But a random skill versus a chance at Metronome? I would prefer a chance at Metronome. I'll take another crypto. That's a ton of money. I actually do not want to upgrade my Hamlets. I want him to only show up at bronze. That way, if he stays in the inventory, just like my thrusters, I'll never see them in stores again, making me much more likely to find fiber optics after day 7. To that end, I actually could just buy a Gearnola at bronze to make Andy that much more likely to have what I want and get at fiber optics in the late game. And I'll roll. Do I want to do 2 more? How hard do I want to commit to this bit? Pretty hard. If I take 5 items out of Andy's stock, that seems pretty good. Also, to anyone wondering why that didn't show up the first time I opened my stash, if you open your stash too quickly after buying something, it just doesn't display. I have my mouse button bound to spacebar, which is the hotkey to open and close stash, so I experience that bug all the time. Now, this is not going to work. I'm probably going to end up selling them at Barcoon because of stash space problems, but it's worth a shot. Do I beat Prince Marianus? I definitely beat this guy. Do I have any medium items? I'm going to remove these two from my board. I'm pretty sure I win no matter what I do. But against the Hexa, there's a little cheat you can do to make sure you always win. Viruses only destroy a small item on each board. If you have no small items, they can't destroy anything, they do not scale up, and you are pretty much guaranteed to win the fight. Provided the medium items and large items you have left on your board actually do something, which mine definitely do. So you can see, even though Vos Virus is triggered, I only have 7 poison instead of 17. My build is so strong that I didn't need to do that, but I did want to show off why it's worth doing, and how builds that normally can't beat a Hexa can oftentimes cheese a win out of it. I guess we're going up to gold crypto. All right, Argenta, what do you have for us? If it's hotspot, I will love you for the rest of time. Chemical fire is not bad. 4 gold to roll off of +2 burn doesn't sound right. It's not great, but it's good enough. Bring these back in. Actually, we're using thrusters, not hamlets. We have get a shield item, which is just an economy option. Gumballs, I'm not that rich. I do not have gumball money, so that's an easy Kina. Ideally, we get a metronome. There are a couple other hits that are possible. Omega Ray to scale the burn on rocket launcher. It's not unreasonable. It's decidedly better than First Aiden, to be honest. It's a little bit slower for triggering its own burn. First Aiden's like twice as fast for charging the drill, but the +1 burn every time the core goes off will make up for it. And I think we do roll here. Metronome's too good. Battery at bronze is not it. Plasma grenade's a bit too slow for my taste. And Isochoric Freezer's very good. At silver, it's not great, and I've created stash space problems for myself here. I will also encounter economy issues if I buy that and then try to buy something on the next store, so I am going to pass on that. We have a small weapon, Finn's Big Bite, and bronze neutral items. Finn's Big Bite is 5% health and 5 regen, which is very good. I'd normally advocate for that. But on a drill build with a rocket launcher, Salamander Pup for +3 burn on a multicast item is a big hit on Curio, and Shadowed Cloak for constant haste with the drill is very good. There are 2 just tremendous hits here. I have to come to the shop. None of that's really useful for me. There's like a little bit of value out of lifting gloves, but I don't have much money, so I am just going to roll the shop looking for the 2 major hits I came here for. Get neither. Damn shame. I will take +5 damage and +4 damage on the drill. I think that is worthwhile. Magnifying glass and sword. I'm not buffing the rocket launcher, even though it's better right now, and the reason for that is simply because it's not a permanent part of the build. 14 gold on crypto, not good enough. It is a 2-win pig. As far as I'm concerned, that's the same as an undefeated pig. Still, it's not like I'm sandbagging or anything. I have all my best items on board, nothing I'm holding back, so let's just go see how the fight turns out. Dr. Vane, Grand Founder, what are you up to? Crookin'? He's got a crook, he's got a flail, he's got fiery cutlass. That's a lot of damage. If I survive the first volley, I should kill him before he kills me. I just don't... Oh, that's not the item I was saying. That's his worst item by far. No, I'm dead. I just don't go off fast enough. 36 burn. Got him. Not even close, baby. I would like to thank the Omega Ray. I'm pretty sure it was important. All right. I was very worried about that, thanks to Fiery Cutlass and Flail, but we made it through. It's day 5. This is basically our last chance to look for a dupe, and I will be looking for it rather desperately. I'll explain why once we have it, or once we miss it. But gumballs and small weapons are not it, so Barcoon is not only our best chance at the dupe, it's also kind of the only thing that makes sense to do. These are not the items we're looking for. And sadly, no drill on the second page either. 13 gold on crypto. I can bail on any small items that I don't actually want, but all of these are being removed from the stock of Andy's store. Or not yet, but they will be soon. And fiber optics is one of the best items in a drill build, so making sure I find that by keeping these is actually pretty valuable to me. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that in my inventory, even though it kind of hurts my soul a little bit. Tox Clocks is very good. This is filtering down very, very aggressively towards metronome and power drill. It's up against temp boost, which I don't really care for in general, and a small shield item. So it's not a tough choice to come here. And he's missed anything I care about on the first page. That's an easy roll. He did not hit metronome or drill. Dude, that sucks. That's brutal. Just 6 complete whiffs. All right, moving on then. 18 gold. You can do better, but I'll take it. Do I beat a Scoville? I have no shielding, no healing, very little regen. I am fairly confident that I lose to Scoville, which is unfortunate. Scoville is the only rightmost fight that I don't beat on this day. Bit of balanced feedback to go with the rest of this video. All 4 of these enemies, Mod Squad, Gorgon Noble, Trash Town Mirror, and Scoville, show up as the rightmost enemy. This doesn't show what tier they are. I believe except for Scoville, they're all gold enemies. But Scoville is so much harder. It's so unfortunate when you get him, because most of the time it's just like... The reason it's unwinnable is he does a decent chunk of burn with like the fiery and most of his items. Then 11 seconds in, this usually goes off for like, I think 70 to 110 burn. I forget what the number is, but just a massive amount of burn, and we do not beat that clock. Because he has 1,400 health as well. He's got 200 more health than everyone else as well as an insane burn build. Which leaves me with the question of, do I go for Kyber Commander or Preening Duelist? I think it's an easy Kyber Commander. Neither is great. It's a lot of burn, man. I'm going to try to fight Scoville. I don't know that I lose. I'm willing to take the risk. I have so much damage from the 79 on drill, so much damage from the scaling with weaponized core and no mega ray. I don't actually know that I lose this. All right, I'm starting to have regrets. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake. Yeah, it's not even close. Oh man, I thought I'd be able to survive into like 15 seconds, and if I had, he would have been almost dead. But yeah, that's an important part of learning. I want to be clear. No one's encyclopedic with this game. No one knows everything. And if you can't sim, you can only learn whether or not things beat enemies by testing it. You're going to lose the Aetheryte and Scout Trooper when you're learning the game. And the same thing fucking applies to Scoville for me, because he's still a new enemy. It's just too much damage to rely on his 7-second cast time to win, unfortunately. And that puts me back pretty substantially on XP. Losing to experience like that sucks. But beating him for 4 experience was such a massive payout, as well as all of his items actually mattering for my build instead of being useless. But I've baited myself. Anyway, Relax is bad. It's not bad, but you don't want to take temp boost. You want to be permanently stronger. I'd much rather take chocolate bars. But Ayla's here. The window is closing to dupe this power drill. Let's try. Nitrogen Hammer is very funny. I always forget this is actually a Dooley item and not just a random monster item. And sadly, nothing here. Well, that's likely the end of this. I won't give up on Power Drill until day 6 because of Orion. What is with all of these fucking crates? I'm gonna go Kev here. He can sell me the enchanted shield item. Not that one. That one's not great. I have the gold to roll. There can be very powerful enchanted shield items. Cool LEDs kind of isn't the one I was looking for, but frankly, my defenses are so bad. And it is a slow item. Like, it's roughly, it's not as good as thrusters, but it's something. It's unclear to me if the LEDs are worth it. They're 8 gold, and I'm trying to drop the core. It's not right. And silver tier tool item, huh? Well, unfortunately, it can't be a drill. Oh, you know what I could have done? Oh, that would have been clever. I could have upgraded my power drill with one of the hammers and got a second hammer to use my level 7 upgrade on the hammer to try to dupe it at gold tier instead of bronze tier. That's what I should have done. It didn't occur to me until just now. I should have slowed down and thought. I could have figured it out. Anyway, these items are not helpful. So gold tier, silver loot. And checking our loot, it is more crit chance on the drill. Happy to see it. It is a 1-win Vanessa. Not too worried about that. I mean, I could definitely lose. My build's not actually that strong. I basically didn't gain strength all of yesterday. Dockline, Shark Raid, Double Barrel Flask. Why? Oh, Clawgen is fast and when you hit gain damage. Okay, fair enough. Still though, like, You haste the dock lines. What are we talking about? Anyway, dock lines really fuck you up. They're an incredibly good item. He's got them at gold on day 5, which is just about the earliest you're ever seeing gold dock lines. So I think I'm dead.
Okay.
Yep.
No ball.
It's just a very, very good item. It's not like the damage output of the build that's crazy. It's that I'm getting slowed into the ground. His build would be much more effective had he hasted the dock lines instead. All right, small weapons useless to us. There's no small weapon we won't. Chocolate bars are not great. We go anti-air every time. A metronome would be fantastic. So, as I said, bronze item still showing up on day 6. And don't want any of those, unfortunately. Actually, now that it's looking like we aren't duping a drill, I will take a Chris Army knife. Medkit, work at the docks, or Curio. That's gotta be Curio. Shadow Cloak is still good. Salamander Pup is still good. I'm not gonna use it just yet, because I don't have to. Plus damage is nice. I don't have a slow. Probably not gonna have a slow. Put that on the drill every time. Roll the shop. Happily take a feather.
Been sitting there 20 years, waiting for
I'm gonna try to hold this for a little bit, because if I get a soldering iron with my Chris Army knife, that's much better than the rocket launcher getting the buff. And I don't think I have the kind of money to justify taking glands. There's a tiny argument to taking the tourist chariot because it buffs the gold value on all of this, but probably wrong. If I see a tool vendor, I'm going to it guaranteed. And it's an expensive roll, and that's the place where you would get a soldering iron to make this a mistake. So I'm not going to sell and buy the tourist chariot. I don't think we beat Infernal. Infernal's actually easier to kill than Scoville, but having seen how the Scoville fight went, I can't beat that, which is very unfortunate. So we have to go fight this instead. Flashy mechanics, not really useful, so we're just looking for highest gold value from these 2 large gold items. Unfortunately, if we do get one, I will have to sell the Salamander Pup, so it's not all upside. The Omega Ray really needs to go, man. I really wish I had found Shadow Cloak to cut the core package. Oh well. Like, the board's just so slow with the way it's currently assembled. Small burn item, JJ Mountain Pass. See, it's a fucking heartbreaking choice. Because if I go for JJ, it's probably not going to have a drill. Bronze items are very unlikely. He doesn't filter at all. But if I go for Mountain Pass, I don't even know I'm winning the fights. Still going for Mountain Pass. It's just the right call. Do I have a crypto? No, I sold that apparently. Anyway. Well. I'm going to sell the Salamander Pup. It meaningfully affects my odds of winning the fight. I don't think I can win, to be honest. Is there a way to get more status ailments faster than Kim Snail? Doesn't look like it. I'm pretty confident I lose here. If I win, then I made the wrong choice on my previous day's fight. But I have no defenses at all, which is very bad for how much time you have to do this. Like, I'm already half dead and the rocket launcher hasn't fucking went off yet, right? Yeah, this isn't even close. I 100% made the correct choice not fighting Infernal. Anyway, I'm officially down 6 experience from where I would be if I'd found a second drill to dupe in a metronome, but oh well. Oh no, not 6. 4, 8, 10 experience. Slightly different. Hef, you're really not what I'm looking for. I'm going Aerodrome, and I'm going to roll hard for Orion. Oh! That works. I upgrade this now, I level up, I upgrade the upgrade hammer, I can keep looking for dupes. My build is very weak. Okay, I'm gonna explain duping now, so that you understand what I'm talking about, since I've been alluding to it and it's getting like progressively weirder that I haven't done it. When you go to a shop, if they show you an item you have, it always matches the tier of the one that you have. This is because when you buy 2 items, if they're the same tier, they combine and you get the next one. But if you were to buy an item of a tier that you do not have, they don't combine. You just get the second item and you have 2 copies of it. So by using the upgrade hammer in a store that is offering you an upgrade, you can upgrade your silver drill to gold and then buy a second silver drill from the store. Normally, this is always done by duping bronze items with the silver hammer that you get from the crate. But you can get that differently with higher tier upgrade hammers. it's very, very rarely correct to use your level 7 guaranteed upgrade to bank the upgrade on Upgrade Hammer, but I believe it is correct here. However, because I have not duped the drill, I am a metronome build, or sorry, a drill build that has not found a metronome or a shadowed cloak despite my very best efforts. I am very weak for day 6. I am likely losing my fight. However, my opponent's a pig with 1 win, so we'll see how it goes. See Crooken, Atlatl, Fiery Cutlass, Gondro, Obsidian Crook. 350 health up on me, no defenses for my burn. Thank God the Atlatl's not Obsidian at least, but I think I lose. I don't think I live long enough to use the rocket launcher a second time. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to thank Ayla for throwing my fucking run and giving this man a golden obsidian crook, because that's why he has it. Ayla just sold him. He had a silver crook, it sold him another silver obsidian crook. Normally, it is C-Fight, Click Fight. Experience is absolutely invaluable in this game, and I am behind on experience. The fights I've been given for my random fights were unwinnable, and I've took a lost fight trying to see if I was wrong and if I could win that fight and underestimating my build. I'm behind on experience, and experience is insane. You normally want to hit level 10 on day 8 to get your guaranteed enchant from level 10 before that fight. Right now, I'm not on track to do that. JJ's a pretty bad story. It doesn't filter at all. So he's not likely to give me anything I'm caring about. Lost and Found is basically an economy event. I don't care about it at all. So even though I'm not clearly winning fights off of this, god fucking damn it. Like, just give me the normal non-burn enemies that don't burn you for 8 million. What are we doing? Spoiler, I lose. I don't deal 3,600 damage before tracking scales. Dude, my fights have been Scoville, Infernal Dragon. What is this? I just cannot take experience options in this run. At least I got 2 gold. That's basically the same thing as what the right option would have done, but Jesus. Oh, it's also super frustrating because had I duped a bronze drill and found a metronome, I actually stand a very good chance of winning that fight. Poll filters down to large items. The good large items for Dooley are Mamasar, Bunker, and what's the last one? Robotic Facility. But I don't do shield items, I don't do friends, it's too late for Mamasar, so I don't want to go there. I don't have gumball money, and that means I'm taking a small weapon, because I can't have nice things in this run, it feels like. And this is just a shit place to be. Speaking of crazy burn enemies, Shock Trooper needs to be killed in under 16 seconds, and I probably just don't kill him fast enough. Ghost Pepper is the second most overtuned enemy in the entire game, so I'm gonna go fight Sergeant Suds, and I'll be sulking about it. Because there's nothing here I care about. Like, theoretically, a Rivet Gun can be good, but you really don't want to be playing Rivet Gun with a Power Drill build. Just like a vastly worse metronome when you're playing Power Drill. If you're playing double Power Drill, though, and you already have the metronome between the first 2, maybe you put this after the second one.
I spent a year in a Yetarian prison. You can't hurt me.
I'll take 4 gold for 1 million. What are we doing here? We're going to middle, because we don't care about 5 gold. We're rich, we don't care about docks. It's very random, and I have the money.
What can I get you?
Yeah, those are really thoroughly not the items I care about. Ditto.
Hey, that's okay.
Dude, the shops have been rough to me this game. Get a weapon is not going to be good. It's probably not going to be specifically Power Drill, and everything else is bad. Ben's Big Bite, like 5% health isn't changing it. My opponent either does nothing and dies, or I lose. So we have to go to Midsworth and hope to get specifically Metronome, because every other option is bad. Cost that to make room. I am willing to buy a crypto. I do not burn enough for Solar Farm to be good. Yes, that is the unfortunate truth of the matter. And that's all bad too. It's been a rough couple of days. This run has not been kind so far. Slow skills and poison skills have no synergy with me whatsoever. I don't want this Chem Snail here. So that leaves it to gold skills random rolls. Let's see if we can get something good. Strength isn't terrible, but I need something fairly massive to win, it feels like. Plus 20 damage on the drill is not nothing, same with the rocket launcher. But frankly, I don't know that this is capable of winning the run, right? Like, I'm currently 3-3, and let's be real with ourselves. We're about to be 3-4. We're losing our PvP fight after this. I need some kind of really good skills to carry this drill over the finish line, and strength is not good enough. And those are all complete whiffs. Titanium does nothing because we don't have shield items. When you poison, your items gain crit. You don't really do that. I'm going to take 9 poison on the Chem Snail because if I get a poison enchant on Power Drill, it's good. And it makes me more likely to win right now. And optimizing Grandmaster is kind of a far cry from where I'm at right now because like it's just very minor to optimize a Grandmaster. I have other hits that are good. I just have to take this to increase my chance of winning. And that's a fucking undefeated pig, so we're dead. Undefeated pig usually means matchbox shenanigans, and there is no shot at me beating anyone undefeated on pig. I've played enough pig. My optimism is 0%. I have no faith. What's that? It's 2 matchboxes, and one was his starting enchanted item. Who could have foreseen this outcome? He also appears to have found Final Flame for +9 burn at gold, and where the other 15 burn came from, I don't know. But I think it'll be enough to kill me.
No hard feelings, right?
Perfectly average pig run there, nothing to see. Moving on with our lives. Alright, JJ, you're not a good shot for this, but the other options are terrible. I'm gonna need some help here, man. I can't even use memory card to generate gold. 1, I don't need gold. But 2, I'm not sure I win my PvE fights. No Power Drill, no Metronome, and no generically good items like Isaac Freezer, nothing. Start with shield in a monster fight, get a large item I don't need, or roll at Burl. Maybe you can save this run like you saved the last one. Seems unlikely to me, but who knows. 30 crit chance is not nothing, but it's kind of the exact opposite of what you want to do with the drill build. Not that I am a drill build right now, I'll be happy to pivot out if you can give me a direction. It looks like the direction was play the drill build. Soldering gun's not great, but like, is that really it? Do we just take a soldering gun and hope it's enough? Fuck it, we take a soldering gun. It's not good, but it's all I've got. Move the soldering gun here, move that, move this. We now have a 3x multicast burn item next to the Omega Ray, which makes us better at triggering drill, better at burning. Still not good. Sell the crypto for 11. We'll fight a Burninator bot, we should win that. There's a lot of Rainbows fights you can beat. It's not all fucking Scovile, Inferno, and Dragon. There are normal enemies in the game, you know. So, like, we do still easily beat this. The issue is that, our build's still bad, and it's going to remain bad until we find at least a Metronome and preferably a second drill. But seeing as Orion doesn't exist in this run, nor do any vendors that want to sell me drills, it seems, I'm not convinced we can turn this around. Double Drill Dooley is the sort of thing that can just sweep people on day 15. It's a very strong top end. First times you slow charge a burn item. That's theoretically very good with a heavy enchant. My Grandmaster's going in the dumpster already, so who cares? This is one of the few things we've been able to do that we had agency with in this run. I have a stockpile of bronze items that cannot show up in that shop. Andy is a lot better than he normally would be. We don't care about scrap or temp boost. So Andy, please. Also, by the grace of God, we didn't get our death enchant yesterday, so that's nice. Isaac Freezer at silver is not really what I'm looking for, but I'll take it so that the next one's at least going to be at gold. Thank Christ. The Metronome's big. What does the Metronome actually do, though, right? Is this just immediately we go deep drill and that's it? So fiddling my board for a second, I think this is the best board I currently have. We're already in a drop the core angle. We have a lot more haste, making this a much stronger weapon. So the rocket launcher is kind of awkward no matter where it goes, but right now it's the best I've got until we find a second drill. We're a lot stronger. We're still not good. We're still not good. But we're getting somewhere. Silver tier friend, silver tier loot item, silver tier item. Now, normally it's a loot item. Just, it is the most reward. However, I might be so desperate that I'm willing to fish for upgrades off silver tier item. Like, things are really, really dire in this run. But the majority of the time that makes it worse, like, it has to specifically be a drill or an Isaac Freezer to affect anything. I'm happy to take that. Like, the wing is just genuinely good. We need to get this thing's cooldown down a little bit, ideally to, what is it? 8.8 seconds, so that if it's getting one charge at a time, it will go off after 4 charges, not 5. Kina's not a huge deal for me. She does make fiber optics a lot more likely, but I really desperately need drill. if I'm gonna beat anyone, I probably need to keep doing fights. I'm just very behind on experience. You want to be level 10 at the end of day 8. I'm nowhere near it. I'm so far behind on experience. I just need to take this fight and not get fucked on fight choice again. Good, we actually beat that one. Okay, let's fight Wandering Shoal. It's just like really demoralizing to not only not get drill, not get offered metronome until day 8, but also just get literally the worst possible enemy RNG. Throw to Scobile to learn because I wanted to be wrong, and then get random fights into unbeatable burn enemies, and it's just frustrating. But yeah, you can see the drill build is tremendously better now that we have a metronome and a soldering iron. It's just 2 very fast items triggering a ton of haste procs. We're probably still a little bit weaker than we used to be honest. Looking at this, the drill did about half of our damage, and about half of our burn came from the soldering gun, which is what you'd expect. Is Amber any good? Is it better than anything I'm using? Not really, unfortunately. I generate no items at start of day. I have nothing I can do to improve my board. Let's go get our death enchant, because I don't think we're winning this one.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what they have to be doing for me to be stronger than them, but, you know, they could just be having a worse run than me. They could also have Diamond Flurry of Blows. I mean, this isn't really the build you want Diamond Flurry of Blows for, but it will absolutely kill the shit out of me. This man has so much slow. That lighthouse is burning me to the ground. I can't really imagine that we win this. Wait, no shot. Do I lose by an inch? No, we won. We won. Okay. I thought for sure that killed me. The Diamond Flurry of Blows doesn't really do anything on that build, does it? Oh, right. His electric eels aren't behind a figurehead. They're a 7-second cooldown, so they're not as fast as I thought they were, and that's really important. Yeah, and Illusory is just like not great, even in Lighthouse builds. All right, fair enough. I'm pleasantly surprised to get that win. Like, it's so much scarier needing to win 7 times in a row in the late game than 6. Shield items are bad. Chocolate bars I don't have room for. We go to Kino, we find fiber optics, we go to the moon. That's the plan. Or we get Beta Ray Brick Buddy Cog and lose 2 gold instantly. Yeah, I don't think that works for me. Sorry, Akina. Thanks for the effort.
Decision comes from a negative place.
Do I take plus 10 gold on drill, or sorry, plus 10 damage on drill, or do we go to JJ looking for a second drill? I have to win the game very, very late. Like, I need to scale up to deal like day 15 damage numbers with this drill. That means it's not dealing enough damage right now. So I have to do that. Do I ever kill Death Knight Reaper? I think the answer is a resounding fuck no, right? That sucks. I don't like that at all. But it's true. I just don't kill Death Knight Reaper. Normally with Death Knight Reaper, it's like a 1 in 5 you get crit by him, and otherwise you win on pretty much any decent build. But, well, if you take a good look at my build, you'll find that it is not a decent build. Pharaoh's Khan can give me left-handed, or whichever one I don't have, right-handed. Oh, right, he'll just one-shot me. So our only option is Blood Reef Captain. I literally lose the other 2 fights. I'm not 100% sure I win this one. I think I do? Question mark? Like, that's a lot of damage and crit chance, and I don't have defenses. It might come down to crit RNG, which has been pretty atrocious so far. No, I think I kill him before the 3rd time it goes off. I have to win, though. Okay, we're good. We didn't lose all 3 PvE fights today. Dire state of affairs, and that's... Alright, Amber's never I'm not gonna say Amber's never happening. Because if I get specifically the heavy enchant, Amber does a lot of work. I'm gonna say the rocket launcher has gotta go. I don't like saying that. But if I get a good enchant and the drill gets tremendously faster, then I actually want to run this crow's nest. So I'm going to sell the rocket launcher. I'm probably not winning today no matter what I do. I'm gonna pick up the crow's nest. Oh, that sucks. With like any other weapon in the game, Sanguine is incredible. It's a really good enchant, basically twice as much weapon. But we're talking about power drill, where all you care about is status ailments and lots of them. The issue here is if I take enchant an item and I get heal or shield, it's worse. And then I can't actually random onto the metronome, which I would like to do, because I've got haste. That would be insane on the drill and not good anyway. Is this just like a fucking one-weapon drill build? Is this what happens here? Is there a way to arrange this to, like, get haste on something better? Not really. It's gotta be that. Ah, God, it's gross, too, because I have to give up one multicast with Chris Army Knife, too. But it gives me sustain. Say 240 damage lifesteal drill. I don't need this one to have a good enchant if I dupe one down the line. You can do worse than this, and because I have a second drill potentially, and this gives me a chance of winning today. Like, I don't know anything else that gives me a chance of winning today. That's why I'm willing to do this. Now here, pole is not useful. Drill builds generally don't want large items in the first place. I am just locked into drill. I have no pieces to transition to anything else. Then gumballs are not really very helpful, and normally gumballs are good enough that you might take them at 50 gold, but relax genuinely might be the reason that I'm able to win a fight. 3 spare change is super minor. Fins is genuinely good, but Ayla can dupe a drill, and we are trying to win on day 15. If you were just trying to go 7 wins, maybe Ayla's not the play, but I am playing to go 10 wins, and that means I have to look for the drill. Unfortunately, the drill has forsaken me, and I live in a godless land with no hope for the future. I'm pretty confident this is the best board I've got. I'm also pretty confident this is a very weak board, but hey, my opponent's already died, which is more than has happened to me. It's actually detrimental. It means they're up an enchant on me. They could also be at 1 health, probably not. Fiery double barrel, shielded crow's nest, heavy tripwire. Guys, I don't think my build's gonna keep going off as fast as it's supposed to. Heavy tripwire definitely does a lot to interrupt my drill build. His fiery double barrel should build a lot more burn than I do with the constant slow from heavy tripwire. Yeah, I'm dead. It doesn't take a lot to put me down. The super frustrating thing here is that because I'm dead, I cannot enchant my second drill, because I don't have a second drill. Because I am 9 days dupe into desperately trying to dupe a drill, and I have not found one. Well, I would have loved to get burning the first time, but it still does something. We put this on the metronome, and the metronome now generates a second status ailment, makes it a much, much better enabler for the drill. And if we can just find a drill, if Orion existed anywhere, we could go to the moon. Or if Ayla or Middle or anyone else who could stock one felt like stocking. We go Andy here because we're still looking for fiber optics. We have stacked the store in his favor. Shield items don't matter. Chocolate parts are minor. We still have a chance to salvage this run. Nitro is genuinely good with a drill build. I have a lot of bad items on my board right now. Are we in a coolant sort of situation? We're certainly not in a happy about Amber sort of situation. Or even first aid, and I think that's clearly better as well. Anyway, I don't think we're in a coolant situation. A lot of self-burn happening here. Probably want to arrange my board a little bit differently there. Sharpening Stone, not very good. Dip Boost, not very good. JJ, could do Patrol, could save the run. Probably not very good. But we are on thin ice. We have very few options that get us a victory here. Vulcus Enforcer. Do I beat that? No, I don't have any defenses. He'll kill me. I have to fight Trash Titan. He will actually disrupt me enough that I will die before him. It's day 10. It's like not actually a lot of active items. I will fail to stop Vulcus Enforcer from killing me. Man, the experience shroud in this run is fucking real. Normally when I'm gonna run it, it's like 4 and 5 and dead on day 10. I feel pretty okay because at least I'm like level 13 and I have a lot of experience going for me. Doesn't appear to be the case today. I'm gonna drop the Amber. If I get a slow, it's valuable to make the drills faster, not for any other reason. Dooley skills, not important. Haste and charge, not great. Crit skills, literally irrelevant. I'll go haste and charge.
Actually, I'm human. The third eye?
I don't shield. I don't freeze. I don't use large items. Try again. I don't have freeze skills to charge. I don't have a core, and I don't have a slow item or a poison item. But at least it removes a skill from the pool, because that's the kind of run this is.
And we can ignore them.
You would be competing with specifically Pearl now that you finally showed up, you son of a bitch.
Well, that's up to
It's not going to be here. It's here! Our savior, Orion, finally fucking showed up. So, as I was saying earlier, you have an upgrade hammer. You're able to upgrade something whenever you want. So when you go to a shop, it stocks an item that is the same tier as the one in your inventory. You're able to upgrade hammer it. And then when you do that, because the items are no longer able to combine, you purchase a second item. And now, you have 2 drills. And each time a drill goes off, it hastes and burns, meaning it charges the drills 8 seconds. So they pretty much are already infinite. Wonderful. Now to figure out the rest of this train wreck. I can sell this immediately. Well, I don't need to. I might go to like Quixel next, so let's hold it for a second. Those 2 items are irrelevant. We just need the fastest and most valuable defensive stuff in the other options. I would love to go to Kev. See fight, click fight. This could level me up if I get a good one. It could do fucking nothing. That's always an option. We might still be dead. It is insane that it took me this long to dupe a drill when I had a day 1 bronze drill. And I just could not find Orion, could not find anyone who felt like stocking a second drill. And my build just ended up pretty weak because weaponized score is not the sort of thing that carries you through late game. Would I run that? I certainly am not using Crow's Nest right now, so let's just make the space and figure out the rest of our board. I no longer have a reason not to run Chris Army Knife. That gets me the Soldering Iron. I want the Soldering Iron to be the leftmost item for the most burn. Isochoric Freezer versus First Aid-In versus Rainbow Potion. If this had more ammo, it might have a spot on my board. But personally, I think all that matters is maximizing speed. Well, to that end, First Aid-In's gonna be hasting the other items. And Nitro kind of hurts me a lot. Like, I have no defenses. And I'm probably already gonna be pretty much burn capped as Soldering Gun goes off. Like, it's not gonna be that great to get additional burn, because if I'm triggering 2 burns every time the drills go off, and then they have 2 seconds left on their charge maximum, I probably don't need many more burn items. Thruster is at least making the Soldering Gun, and thus my startup time faster, so I think that's the play. I'm actually surprised I didn't see the correct board orientation here during the run. I guess I was on tilt after how long it took me to find my second drill. 8 days for a metronome, 10 days for a second drill is pretty rough. However, because I don't have anything that needs to be adjacent to the second drill, it being a tool and Aiden being a friend, I can put the Soldering Iron between the 2 of them, and that means that I don't need to run Chris Army Knife that does no status ailments. So I would want to do that. I want to have Drill, Soldering Iron, Aiden. Then I want to have Isochoric Freezer far right, cut the Chris Army Knife, but Thrusters all the way to the left, and then Nitro further left. That way I have all of my status ailments as fast as possible, and I'm not wasting a slot on Chris Army Knife like I currently am. We could just be dead. This person's on 7 wins. They've had a much better run than me. However, I'm not weak anymore. I have been screwed by the merchants at every point, but we managed to get out 4 wins before now, and now we actually have a good build. He is a level up and 1,000 health on me. Big Clamra's a fucking problem. So, is it just Fiery Pop Snappers and not a lot else? Because if so, I will win this. Yeah, we're fine. Not quite as fine as I thought. That was distressingly close. If only because the Clamor really delayed my startup time. We need more. We need to get that fiber optic that I set up for Andy a long time ago. Andy's been really holding out on us this run. Small weapon, chocolate bars, Barcoon. The issue with Barcoon is he literally cannot sell items I want. When you get double drill, your other items are always going to be 5 small items. 1, that's good for freeze resistance. But 2, I had Pickles? Oh, I guess they were on his board, yeah. But 2, you just really, really want to have as many status ailments as possible, and usually medium and large items are not going to be great at implementing a lot of separate status ailments. I'm not going to clear my inventory. I need to keep this JJ clean, which is awful, to be honest. I can sell the Nitro, the Rainbow Potion, the Piggle, get 5 chocolate bars. Sure. Well, 4 chocolate bars, so I need to sell something else too, which I am unwilling to do. Chris is terrible, actually. Right now, I'm able to do this, which, like, you know, isn't great. But Chris isn't doing anything. I'd rather have another status ailment that gets me space for chocolate bars. I need the health. I'm just in constant danger right now. That's going to be a loot item for sure. And unfortunately, having just seen Barcoon, we know we won't be seeing him again. Now, with Ayla, if you have 2 of the same item at different tiers, the store cannot stock it, meaning she cannot sell me these weapons. What weapons can she sell that I won't? Good question, there are none. I'm going to go temp boost here. 12 regen is a permanent thing that can help a lot. I'm genuinely worried I'm not going to be able to kill my opponent fast enough. Temp boost is a massive increase in damage output, especially with one of these drills being obsidian. Bonus experience is a very good hit. I'm just going to sell these now so I can't forget about them and mess something up. And we should beat a Frost Street champion. Man, I'm gonna be so fucking sad if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure we beat a Frost Street champion. Getting Invigorating Cold can be quite good for us once we find a freeze. Actually, we do have one. It just takes a bit to go off. And even though Iceberg's a bit of a pain in the ass, it's much less bad than it used to be since it's only half a second, and my build just does enough that he'll die pretty quickly.
I go back.
What's my crit chance on this thing? 15%? Nothing crazy. We have a chance at stabilizing here. That goes in. Look, I know I don't want most large items, but that's a very good large item. Your opponent does something, charge both drills 2 seconds. We take those. At this point, is the soldering iron even good? Probably. I would run Isochoric Freezer with a fiber optics over this setup, but for now, that's the best we have. Slow item, gumballs, medium items. All of these are restricting my opponent's, not my opponent's, my Andy's access to things that are not fiber optics. This is an item I am planning to put on my board with fiber optics, which means that I cannot buy gumballs 5 at a time, and I really don't want to click them 1 at a time, but there's nothing at middle, no slow item, fine. I will buy your gumballs 1 at a time, Reynad. It's the correct choice, it's just really, really tedious. Also, I need to stop picking up shield gumballs. Please, sir. No more shield gumballs. That's 3 out of 6. Okay, 3 out of 8. Odds are getting better. The world is healing. 4 out of 10. Still pretty bad. Upgrade an item. Frankly, upgrade Iceberg is not unreasonable. Get a gold tier skill, can make my drills tremendously faster. It can give me defense crit and make me tremendously more durable. This is not a bad upgrade, but I think Orland's more likely to give me what I need to win the run. I don't have any Start a Fight haste. Once anything does happen, I will trigger the haste and get this freeze. Oh, you know what? Metronome is costing me burn. By taking it out, the burn goes onto the metronome. And I think a 15 burn metronome is nothing to sneeze at. That really helps my damage. I otherwise don't have much in the way of scaling. So even though quick freeze is good, I think just getting the metronome to actually do something might matter. Now, even though I'm very experienced at the game, I just have to go and check out what enchants do all the time. Deadly. Enemy items have minus 100% crit on the Iceberg. We just changed this. I think I want to upgrade my Iceberg. Because if my opponent's a crit build that can no longer crit, my odds of winning skyrocket. So yeah, not what I was expecting to be doing with that hour. It's a Dooley? This should really fuck him up, man. Dooleys feed into Iceberg really aggressively, right? They make very fast interlinking builds, just look at me. First Aiden, Soldering Gun, Power Drill, Metronome, Other Power Drill, Shadowed Cloak. Okay, we're both infinite drill builds, but I'm the one with it. Okay, my damage output's so much higher than his. Also, I have the Iceberg, which is incredible. It's kind of good in the mirror. And the 15 burn power drill, or sorry, metronome did inflict 226 burn pretty much instantly. So we win the double drill mirror. And also, that guy's build was not weak. Whenever his drills went off, he triggered haste, haste, burn, burn, which is infinite. These are infinite drills with healing. If he had any sort of scaling on his damage, he might have gone to the moon, but he did not. And I have reduced his crit chance to 0 anytime he does anything, which he does something constantly. I get to trigger my own drills. So even though I'm not quite as infinite as he is, I'm infinite enough. I just need my opponent to help me out a little bit. This might be one of many runs I've had where anytime I've ever someone said this in the comments, like, holy shit, they're right. Anytime I've ever successfully pivoted into Iceberg, I've gone 10 wins. And I think this is one of those runs. I don't think I need damage to win anymore. I think the drill and the metronome and the Iceberg were big enough. But weapons do nothing and shield does nothing. So I'm going to take temp boost damage simply because there are no meaningful alternatives. Since I have a minus 100% crit iceberg, I no longer care about taking starting health as my temp boost damage is just clearly better. Medium items will be nothing to me, so I'm going to go chocolate bars, which is, look, I'm just going to sell some, it's wrong. I need the fiber optics so badly to buff the isochoric freezer. A fiber optics over the first aid, it makes the build tremendously better. All right, I'll just lose 60 health. Damn it, fine. I need the health. Even though I'm not as in much danger as I was, I still need the health. I can't afford to skip on it. I don't have to sell them yet. We can go fight Lord Arkan. It's nice to finally get a 5 experience fight I'm able to beat. The build's come a long way since it was falling apart on day 7. I don't know that we're on course to win on day 16. I think that's what we're looking at, right? Day 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we don't have to go day 16 at least, but day 15 builds are terrifying, man. And I'm not high health. Oh, hey, that actually just immediately gave us the thrusters that were better. Neat. Not what I was thinking about. Weapon skills cannot give me anything particularly meaningful to my knowledge. I don't slow, that's an easy Adira, right? What is weapon able to give me that I'm forgetting about? I'm gonna stop thinking about it, I'm gonna click diamond skills. I really want diamond defense grid. When you haste, gain 3% crit. That's 100% crit, baby. I can stop reading. Those other two are pretty all right. Mixed messages is okay, the purge is all right. But generally, I've been finding more and more that the purge skills, I just die anyway after they go off. The fights are rarely close enough for that to be the difference. Getting 100% haste very quickly seems like the thing to do. Kev isn't doing anything for me. Spare change isn't good. We're gonna go aerodrome and roll for some sort of power, not pull. Hina can give me a fiber optic. I don't think that does anything, but I'm going to buy it just so I can get it to diamond and have it stop showing up in stores down the line. Not very useful. Diamond thermal lance is very cool, just not able to use it in this build at all. So I can upgrade this drill for 25 damage and the ability to upgrade the other drill down the line. I am not going to do that. I'm going to upgrade the iceberg to a 1 second cooldown. Or not a 1 second cooldown, a 1 second freeze. Going to sell all of these chocolate bars for max health. Get me up to 5110, over 5,000 finally. He's a level ahead of me, no surprise there considering how my mid game went. But I am a double drill with a deadly iceberg and a Dooley mirror, and that's just a really good thing to have in a mirror. Bonker, all this shit's gonna be multicast. Restorative Ballista is very scary. He's got the shielded DJ robot doing some gross things. Wait, what's the haste from? Oh, it's just this guy. Okay, I understand. Ballista failed to kill me. Iceberg did crazy work, and we crush him. All right. Iceberg pivot, doing it again. Let's go. It's stressful being post day 12 as Dooley. I'm just waiting for Pig to show up and one-shot me, really. Get a haste item, chocolate bars, bronze tier, neutral items. Well, I'm gonna go chocolate bars here. Bronze tier neutral items could be specifically Salamander Pup, very tiny amounts of cooldown. I'm just gonna take the guaranteed 150 health. Temp boost versus JJ. I'm still doing a lot of work to try to get this fiber optics. Schematics is a way of getting fiber optics.
So, how about this weather where... Oh.
Yeah, that's awful. Make a space. What do we have for our fight? Lord Arkan again, love to see it.
50 worlds to rule.
I don't know if I'm strong for day 13, man. If I had a life left and needed one more win, I'd be so comfortable getting one win on the way to day 14. But needing to get 3 wins without a loss is very, very different. Just do not feel like I've made a build strong enough to reliably do what it needs to do. I'm going to sell these two. The reason I'm selling both of them is when I pick this item up, I'm going to level up and get a tech item. I want that item to be fiber optics specifically, so if there's only 1 slot left, it cannot roll a 2 or 3 slot fiber optics. Or sorry, tech item. In this case, it did not roll a fiber optics either. Gold tier friends, gonna go ahead and just take the loot item, hope for cooldown reduction, maybe experience. Kina is not great. I'll take another 15 crit though. Wait, why am I saying Kina's not great? I'm full of shit. She's filtering down to fiber optics. She's wonderful. Those items aren't, but I mean, What can you do?
You're not ready.
Why would you ever expect a merchant to be nice to you in this game? Not even going to upgrade the Isochoric Freezer, huh? Now, Mysterious Portal is really good. I usually click on Mysterious Portal. But, again, I really, really need to upgrade this Isochoric Freezer and find fiber optics. Alright. Fucking fine.
Window shoppers.
Well, thankfully I'm getting nothing but Dooley mirrors with an iceberg. So, my odds of winning are still very high. If all I see is Dooley for the rest of the run, and like Aquatic Vanessas, the iceberg will just hard carry. Those are big items. Flamethrower is not the kind of item. He's also iceberg pivoting. Wait, no. That's illegal. That's my thing. Wait, his flamethrower is not very big. What's the plan here? Why is his flamethrower supposed to be good? It doesn't do anything. I don't get his build. What's the point of this flamethrower? I thought like there was a scaler or something. There's a radiant rocket launcher here. I'm too stressed to analyze that. I'm moving on. What was that? Why did the build look like that? Upgrading Isochoric Freezer can be very good, but it is not better than gold tier skills. There are way more important things to hit. I don't have a core. I don't have a large item. I don't have friends. Grumble, grumble. I'm gonna take stop that. When I reach half health, it'll trigger both drills a lot more faster. A lot more faster. Oh, my brain's melted in this run. Just like the stress of getting completely destroyed in the mid-game, robbed by shops, nothing I need. Followed by just the illusion that I might somehow be winning. Stop! I don't even want an obsidian enchant. I'm doing it. Someone will see it and be like, oh wow, he has 2 obsidian drills, this is rigged, I can't fucking believe this game. But like, it's not good. I don't know, is it? I've already got Fiery, Haste, Double Triggering, and the Iceberg. Maybe it's the best enchant. Probably not, it's probably objectively worse than Fiery, Poison, Heavy, Icy. There's probably a lot of hits that were better, but it's not bad. It's better than most things I could get on a given hour. Anyway, chocolate bar time. Fine, I'll just fucking toss all of them. I cannot believe I went through all of that rigmarole trying to increase my odds for fiber optics and just didn't get anything out of it. That's not true. That's tilt. I had 5 small bronze items on day 8 when I got the metronome. It actually did, you can't know, but it did make the result that helped me get here much more likely. Oh man, maybe the shops would have been somehow worse if I hadn't, you know? Lure of the Waste is an easy kill. I don't take Foreboding Winds here. If I could take Foreboding Winds, I would say no, because Static Axel is already getting me 100% crit rate, probably pretty fast. Pendulum is actually useless too, because I need the Iceberg on board. Yeah, we're at 62 crit pretty instantly. There's no reason to care about Foreboding Winds. Oh, Pendulum, you're a beautiful, wonderful item. You just don't fit on the board. All right, Andy.
Size dilutes the brain.
You want to sell all the shit I just sold? Yeah? Of course you do, buddy. Why would you sell anything else? I have 61 gold. I'm gonna buy these 2 items to make sure I get a small item, because it could be fiber optics. Could also be a lens. Very similar to fiber optics. Only slight cosmetic differences. Unique skills to Dooley are really terrible when you have no friends, no core. I have no poison items, and that means Malifang. Sadly, I don't use the metronome, so Conflag doesn't work. +3 burn is not incredible, +2 burn is less good. There are better skills to hits. I don't have a core, so again, not useful. I don't really value this that highly because I don't stack burn that much. But if I were going to get something valuable, Heat Shield. While this won't give me that much shield, it'll probably pretty much give me shield on every internal cooldown, if not every other, meaning I will have all incoming burn damage forever. So that's actually very good. It's not a great Grandmaster, but there's like enough things in there that are good. I'll click on them. Fucking egg on my face. Fine, you can keep those. No reason to sell anything. It is a day 14 Vanessa. 1 win left on her. Just don't one-shot me with the boulder, man. Come on, be a cool dude. Heavy Shipwreck. That's the sort of build that I steamroll because Iceberg counters it. I don't really give a shit that my items are slow because my items are triggered by charging, not by casting. So this is an automatic win. This dude's just hard dead by the counter matchup. Very comforting to see Heavy Shipwreck as the first item. That's not the boulder at all. Oh, what a fucking turnaround for this run. I'm at 9 wins. I'm on day 15. If you have a shot, give me the fiber optics, please. I've completely given up all of my odds on it, but no? Still no? Okay. Gonna go chocolate bars yet again. Invested quite a lot of money in premium chocolate here. Pendulum cannot be used, unfortunately. Just like, even if I get a guaranteed upgrade, take it to diamond, I can't drop the iceberg. It's crazy talk. So, I'll toss that. Keep the bronze item for slightly better odds on shops. Take 5 gold tier chocolate bars for another 150 health. And we crush an Awakened District, but oh man. And again, the analysis for all these fights is the right one is worth 3 more experience. We can stop thinking. There is no, like literally nothing is worth an average of 33 experience lost or whatever it is when you do the math. Awakened District is just so much experience compared to my minuscule chances of whatever minor hits the other ones might have. Well, if there was going to be a thing worth penduluming, that would have been it. But I don't have fiber optics, I don't have pendulum, and that's probably getting sold. Sell a chocolate bar, make some room. The real question is, would I be willing to try to use that if I got a good hit? No, I probably wouldn't. Well, I guess I'm taking 5 regen because it's better than 20 heal and Aiden, but I'm not proud of it. I'm clicking on the mysterious portal. I'm over it. Let's gamble a bit. Okay. What do you have for me, Freya? You have a nitrogen hammer, no enchant. You have an unscaled icy Dianosaur on the last day of the run. A beta ray on a coreless build. All right. I'm seeing it. Hey! That's better than like 8 Andes. At least that's good. First Aiden's never, ever going to be the reason I win this fight. He really doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. Coolant. Cleanse after burn? That could matter. It's not going to, but it could. And that's not going in my board. All of this is done. Final count, 100 gold even, 9,090 health, 2 obsidian drills and a dream. Let's see it. Hey, I'm winning more than him, but that means he's winning later than I am. Which means this is a pig that turned the corner, day 15 pig, embrace your fate. Wait, he's crooking. Is he caltropping? He ain't caltropping. Oh, it's a radiant at Lattle, that's very bad. And the dog hits for 6,000, I'm dead. Well, nothing I can do about it. Damn shame.
Oh, don't let this get you.
Like, what do you want me to do? Why the fuck does this dog hit for 6,000? It's also worth noting that he hit the 1 enchant where the Atlatl deals 2.3 thousand damage instead of just being a dog shit item. That, like, my build just didn't go off because his Atlatl got specifically radiant. It's so frustrating. The 12% crit probably didn't matter, but oh man, that's so frustrating. That's so sad. That's the problem with this build, is that like you are living on a dream, but it's so upsetting. I think there's probably an above 50% chance I win my final fight here. It's genuinely tilting to claw it back all the way this far, then die because I can't freeze his Radiant Atlatl. And if he had a different enchantment, I freeze the Atlatl, it triggers my build to start going off and we can do something. Additionally, like, I know that Pig can just do broken one-weapon items, but most of them aren't this. Oh, the dog's obsidian. The enchant animates so badly that I couldn't tell. That makes sense then. Okay, I was like, how do you even get a 6,000 dog? That's ridiculous. That means his crit chance was 112! From fucking what? How many blue gumballs did you get? Yes, 74 flat crit. Okay, that's not that bad then. It was 74 flat crit and 12 left over for 112 minus 74. That's only like 38 crit from gumballs. The crit chance didn't matter. That's not why I'm dead. It's so frustrating. It's just down to enchant RNG. Like, if the Crook has any enchant other than Deadly, his crit chance is 0%. If the Atlatl had any enchant other than Radiant, it turns on my Iceberg and my build goes off. I am not actually dead to his entire board hitting me without crits, even with Obsidian Dog. So it is entirely down to the random enchants he hit killing me. My enchants were also kind of dog shit, except for Deadly on the Iceberg. Like, Obsidian Drills is not what you want, but considering they both went off once due to his enchants, it's not really relevant which enchants I got. Oh, it's such a sad final fight. I'm just... like, my build just doesn't activate. He just has a Radiant Atlatl that would eventually kill me if he had no other items on his board. That's not true, because the drills would do most of it, but God, how frustrating. What an awful final fight for the build to hit. At least have the decency to one-shot me with a Subscraper, Jesus. And it appears we're continuing the trend of just barely clawing out 9 wins on an awful start in our Overexplained runs. But I hope this did a good job of explaining why I made the decisions I made with the bad starting RNG I had, and of how to try to claw out a 10-win run when you're getting that bad RNG. You can't always claw it out, but you can make a damn good show of it. And unfortunately, just like last run, what is the major takeaway when I sit down and do the replay analysis and I think about how the run went? The takeaway is, if you lose early fights, it's catastrophically bad because you have to roll the dice on late game fights, and the amount of crazy scaling people can get, the amount of matchup RNG that happens, is just wild. Because just like I got rolled automatically on my last fight, my 9th victory was against somebody who physically could not beat me because they were a shipwreck setup against an iceberg drill setup, right? Matchup RNG is just incredibly volatile in the late days, as well as the crazy amount of scaling some people can get at the high roll. You don't want to be losing early, and this build, again, just like the last Overexplained, would have gone 10 wins if it just got fucking anything in the early game, right? This build would have been the easiest 10 wins of my life if I had found a metronome and duped a drill on day 5 instead of day 8. That's not even true. I didn't dupe the drill until like day 10. I got the metronome on day 8. It was awful shop RNG. The skills offered to me did not allow me to like build a good drill setup with a single drill. It was just a damn rough run. And if I had been better at the game, I would have actually seen that I could have like done the hammer thing earlier. But I guess that didn't matter. I ended up randoming immediately into an upgrade and allowing myself the same option, so it worked out. Still a cool run. Sad to see it didn't go 10 wins. But that is the nature of Overexplained runs. I'm not going to spend an extra 30 minutes to 2 hours commentating until I get a 10-win run. It seems both like a waste of time and intellectually dishonest, because every run is not a 10-win run by definition, even for the best players. But this board is sick, and only having 9 wins above it does make me deeply sad. I hope you took something away from this. I hope you have some slight better understanding of how to optimize your play patterns as Dooley, how to angle for drills. And don't you fucking start with me about how this is a lesson not to force drills. I went 9 wins. I also got like comically bad RNG. I had an income start with an hour 2 drill. This is not a lesson not to force drills. This is a lesson that weaponized core is dog shit and the shops betrayed me. I mean, maybe it's a lesson not to force double drills. I'm inclined to believe that if I had tried to play weaponized core in any other way, I would have gone way less than 9 wins though. Genuinely though, if you think I'm wrong, feel free to articulate why. Jeez, it's actually crazy how good this run would have been if I had found the dupe shrill and metronome on like day 4 or 5, which is not even that rare. Silver items are very common on days 3 through 5. Duping a drill is, like, if you have a day 2 bronze, hour 2 bronze item, it's very easy to reliably dupe that item. If I had found the metronome and drill before, then I kill Scobile, I kill 2 Infernals, I kill a dragon, I'm up an entire level. Not only is the run already over a day ago, but I probably just have enough health to tank that guy and survive. Well, I actually got 12% dog critted through Deadly Iceberg, so no. But, like, the run could have been so good with better RNG. Anyways, that's enough rambling, I'm going in circles. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe on your way out. It really does help spread the channel around, boost up in the algorithm. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.